Well, Ron DeSantis is trying to revive his struggling campaign. Yesterday, he kicked it off a campaign tour in Iowa. President Trump is unveiling his new headquarters today in Iowa ahead of his speaking engagement tonight. Newsmax host John Bachman is live from Trump HQ, where I understand it is very, very warm. John Bachman, what do you have for us?
Yes, is it that obvious that it's warm? I'm sweating. Yes, it's very hot here in Iowa. Record high temperatures here. But you talked about the DeSantis campaign and their attempts to restart things and kind of refresh things and put a new face on the campaign. Well, they're really facing a lot of the heat, you know, metaphorically speaking. They're out touring around Iowa today trying to kickstart some energy. We're here at the Trump headquarters. Donald Trump is going to come here to open this officially today. And we're here really for, and what a lot of the candidates are here for, is for the Iowa GOP Lincoln Day dinner. We have some graphics here we can show you. Basically, everyone besides Chris Christie is here to speak tonight. Nikki Haley will be here, Asa Hutchinson, Ron DeSantis and Tim Scott, also Perry Johnson, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, Vice President Mike Pence, and Will Hurd, a former congressman from Texas, and also the Miami mayor, Mayor Suarez, Ryan Binkley, a new addition to the race, Larry Elder, Vivek Ramaswamy, and, of course, the keynote speaker tonight, the last to speak, I should say, is Donald Trump. What's unique about this is really the pinnacle event for Iowa Republicans here and the real official start of the caucus season. All of the speakers will have 10 minutes to kind of woo over the crowd. And we did have a chance also while we were here in Iowa to catch up with Ron DeSantis as he was trying to go around and restart his campaign. And we asked him about the uphill battle he's now facing. Everyone has seen the poll numbers, and we tried to talk to him if he's ever faced adversity, something similar to this in his life outside of politics, and here's what he told us.
That happened to me in athletics all the time. You know, happened to me in baseball. People said you couldn't get the job done. I really thrive on that. And at the end of the day, I think some of these people are very interested in kind of doing the narrative they want to see rather than what's actually happened on the ground. So I'm fine with that. I love when people count me out, and we're going to make it happen.
So there you go. Ron DeSantis says he is going to make it happen. Obviously, everyone has seen the poll numbers and the ground that he has to make up. He's hoping to do that tonight during this speech. It was just one of these chances. We saw this a few weeks ago in Philadelphia as well, where the voters here in Iowa have such an important say in the initial stages of the presidential primary. Some of these candidates are going to be trying to win over the voters here in Iowa, and it all starts tonight at the GOP Lincoln Day dinner. Guys, back to you.
Okay, and thank you, John. And we want folks to know you did an interview with the governor, and we're going to show that in its entirety next hour. So thank you so much, John Bachman. Always great to get an update from you. Thank you.
Stay cool.
Yeah. Joining us right now to discuss former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum. Now, Rick, the Iowa caucus is an interesting animal. I knew somebody back in, I guess it was 2012, who actually got more votes than anybody else and ended up getting no delegates. And I still, to this day, don't understand that. Can you explain?
Well, I would have gotten delegates had I stayed in the race, but I dropped out of the race before the convention, and therefore the delegates were and released my delegates. So that's the reason the convention I could get them, because I had released my delegates by that point.
Yeah, but you did. It was a very close race, but you got more than anybody else. Mitt Romney was second, but like from 28 votes or whatever it is. But talk about the animal that is the Iowa caucus and what to expect.
Well, the most important thing about the Iowa caucus is that you have to spend time in Iowa. You have to meet people. You have to more than once in most cases. They really see themselves as the human relations department for the country. They want to interview everybody. They want to get to know these people. They want to shake their hand, look them in the eye. And it's not unlike a primary where you have masses of people voting. It's a caucus where people have to go out at a specific time in the evening to a specific location that's not particularly convenient in some cases, and go and wait for an hour or two before they can even vote in some cases. So it's a real commitment, and it's activists, it's volunteers. And so it's much more, I would argue, much more of a rigorous, vetting than you would see in a primary where you can buy a bunch of TV commercials and just appeal, have more of a popular appeal instead of sort of a personal appeal.
Senator, Ron DeSantis's campaign has been struggling. We all know that. He's intending to reinvigorate it while he's in Iowa. First, do you think he can do that? And second, what does he have to do to achieve that?
Well, it's been done before. I mean, if you recall, you look back at John McCain, and John McCain was in 2008 was basically had to fire almost all his staff, was famously carrying his own bags, which I didn't think was a big deal. I always carried my own bags, but when John McCain did it, it was a big deal. He was way down in the polls and clawed his way back. This is not unexpected. It was disappointing, I think, if for DeSantis supporters to have all that money, to have all that promise, and sort of see that money squandered. It's not unusual for that to happen. Scott Walker had that happen to him. Tim Pawlenty had it happen to him in the previous two Republican primaries. So it's something that he has an opportunity. The other two sort of had a failure and fell out. He has not done that. Where he's still viable. He's still running second, and I'd say he still is sort of the alternative to beat. I mean, Trump is the man to beat. And DeSantis is the alternative to beat.
Although Tim Scott has raised a lot of money recently, what are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I always thought that Tim would actually do well in Iowa. He is incredibly personable. He has an optimistic message. He has a great backstory of his climb up the ladder of success in South Carolina. And I thought he would connect well with Iowans, and he's doing that. And the fact that DeSantis hasn't really taken off. There is a whole block of voters out there, roughly, if you look at the polls, 50+%, that are not voting for Trump. And so the question is, who's going to be the leader of that pack, and how quickly can they coalesce those people to oppose Trump? And I think you're going to start to see this first debate. If people do not make the debate stage, I think they're pretty much going to be out of the race. And there may be one or two candidates who don't make the stage, and I don't think they'll survive that. Being as someone who was on the debate stage in 12, and it really gave me the lifeblood that I needed to stay in the race and to be relevant from the standpoint of the voters out there. If you're not, and in my case in 2016, there was a group of us on the kids' table debate, and that destroyed any opportunity for me or Mike Huckabee and Lindsey Graham, others, to really have a chance to compete in the race. So the fact that these guys are all going to be on the same stage, those who make it, is going to be a real boost for their campaign.
All right, Senator Rick Santorum, the race is on. Thanks so much for joining us.
You bet.